these guys. Alright, welcome back everyone. So if you have a lowered vehicle, not necessarily a truck, because a truck, when you lower it, still has a significant amount of ground clearance, but if you're dealing with like a Lamborghini, Porsche, McLaren, a lowered Mustang, Camaro, etc., you may find that even a low profile jack doesn't quite get underneath the vehicle, so you can jack it up high enough to put jack stands underneath it. So today's video, I'm going to show you how to get around that very simply, very easily. Have a good day. Alright, so today we're going to make a custom lift, I don't know, ramp, I guess would be a better word. That the tire really hasn't quite touched it yet. I mean, I shoved it up underneath there, but it's already touching here, and I don't want to damage things. This car has been lowered. I did not do it, it's been lowered, and when I jacked it up last time, it was really difficult to find places to jack it up. Even my low profile jack won't fit underneath there, and when I had a tire repair yesterday, their low profile jack wouldn't fit anywhere underneath there. So for at home, when I'm changing my own oil and stuff, I need something to transition. I don't necessarily need it to lift this high, but I need it to go up a little bit and make my life easier. So let's do that. So I've just simply taken a piece of 1/2 inch plywood. I glued up some 1.5 inch solid wood pieces, and I put it at an angle. These are roughly 2x4x8s that I've basically cut in half, and then I just picked a spot back here and then an angle that I think is going to work out well to 0. And in theory, when I run this across my table saw, it's going to start right here and end up somewhere down there, creating a nice gentle transition. I'll put a stop here so I don't accidentally roll forward, and then I'll put a stop wherever it ends up over there so it doesn't roll backwards. And there's the transition, right? Like that. That should be fairly easy, but no, I am going to cover it with a piece of plywood. I'm going to use a minimum of 3 of these per ramp. And so that should be pretty straightforward. So if you want to make shims, that's a similar process. And I don't know if you saw that, but a little clamp for a safety measure, but when you're pushing at least against this way on the fence, and a jig is designed to be pushed this way, you're naturally going to push this up against a block up there. So it's pretty much safe and secure. This is just an extra safety measure. Set my table saw fence just as a stopper. I pushed them all the way up against there. Then these may look off for whatever reason. I don't know, maybe because the wood is slightly bent or bowed, but we're nice and straight here. So I'm just going to kind of ignore this area, and I'm going to start here by putting a ramp on top, and then I'll put a ramp on the bottom. I'm just going to feel with my fingertips where it's flush here and here, so it's a little bit of a step up. It's not bad, and then whatever it ends up being up here is what it is. Then this should give me plenty of flat area to park on, and then once I glue the 2 edges, because I can flush them up on both sides, I'll put this one down the middle for extra support. My tires on my car are a little over 10 inches wide on the front, so these are 11 7/8. That should give a little wiggle room. Put a large amount of glue on here, preferably tight bond has always been a good one for me. Put a large amount on there. We're not gonna, the pin nails and screws don't hold it in place. The glue holds everything in place and keeps it secure. So we're just going to use brad nails to hold it in place until the glue dries. And then we'll clamp the tips, because obviously my brad nail is going to shoot through the bottom there. Now in my particular case, I'm going to flush it up to the back side on this top piece that's going to mount up here, and there's going to be a little gap on the front right here. No big deal, but that's how I'm going to roll with it. The reason why I want to flush with the back, because I'm going to create a little backstop
eventually, so that way you can only go so far without too much effort and stop the vehicle from going forward. And then I don't know, I'll probably make a wedge and glue that down right there. So I can't emphasize enough using glue to bond wood together. Your brad nails, staples, screws only provide the pressure, they do not provide the strength. The glue provides the strength to keep everything nice and tight. I'll leave it in clamps, and the pin nails, in my particular case, are going to hold it in place. I'm going to create a backstop right here, then I might put a small wedge right up in here to prevent the car from rolling backwards easily. And then to add a little more reinforcements for when I roll up on it, I'm going to glue this solid block of pine. It's only 3/4 inch, but it's just reinforcement to help prevent this from breaking back here if I roll up on it too hard. Now I turn my ramps upside down. I'm going to spray glue all 3 of these 2x4s. Then I have this paper. It feels like sandpaper. It feels about the equivalent of 220 grit sandpaper. And this will prevent it from sliding around on my garage floor. So just a friction device. And I'm going to use some 3M sprayable adhesive. Go away, cat. Reach up here a little bit closer. Then I'll do this one. Ow, get leg cramp. Ouch. Now it's a little bit short, but that's not going to matter. It's the bottom side just to help with friction. And trim off the excess with a simple razor blade. And that should work plenty good for this.